So this is just a continuation of the function notation. I give you a function. The equation is 3x minus 1. And then we're going to ask you to do a bunch of this stuff. So this is what we're asking you to do. The h not equal to 0 is just to be mathematically correct. So you don't have to worry about what that means. It's just we're not going to have division by 0 right away is what it's telling us. So when we write this out, I'm going to take my original function, which is 3x minus 1. And the idea is the first thing it tells you to do is find function g, which I've already written, and we're going to put x plus h into it. Pretty straightforward, right? Then what's the second part telling you to do? Subtract g of x, which is subtract off your original function. So subtract it off. I just use square brackets. It's the same as parentheses, whatever. So 3x minus 1 is going in there. And this is all over h. So now we just want to simplify. So once you have everything plugged in where it's supposed to go, it's all about your algebra skills and simplifying. Let's do blue. So distribute the 3. Don't forget about this negative 1 that's sitting here. And then the green stuff, distribute the negative sign. Again, this was all over h. So what can we do in the numerator up top?
Combine like terms.
Combine like terms. So this is positive 3x and negative 3x. That'll go to 0. Negative 1 and positive 1 will also be 0. So we're just left with 3h over h. They divide off, and we're left with 3. So this is one of the final things. If you can kind of understand this, I think you have a really good grasp of function notation, how things are working, and understanding notation. I'm going to switch this. You might want to try this as it's written later on. But right now, I want you to get rid of that. We're going to do the same. We're going to do the same, what's called the difference quotient. So I want you to find function f, put the x plus h into it, then subtract off your function and divide by h. So what I'm going to do is I'll pause, give you a little bit of a head start. Notice we have 2 x's, right? So each time you do an input, you have to put that in 2 places. So see if you can get it set up. Some of you might jump ahead and start the simplifying process, but do that now. So I'm pausing, you're working. Got it? So when you look at the original f of x, it's asking you to drop the x plus h into it. So if I put x plus h here, I also have to put it here. So that's my function, and we're dropping x plus h into it. That makes sense? Then we're supposed to subtract our function. So right here, we're subtracting x squared minus 2x plus 3. And that's all over h. So that would be the setup of this problem. So off to the side, you might be taking x plus h and write it out as x plus h times x plus h. X times x is x squared. X times h in the middle, x times h on the outside, so you have 2xh and then h squared. So when you have x plus h squared, you end up with a quadratic. You have 2 of them. Then you need to distribute the negative 2. I get negative 2x, negative 2h, plus 3. At the very end, we have the minus our function in red, so it's minus x squared plus 2x minus 3 all over h. Now we're ready to cross some things off. I see a positive x squared and a negative x squared, a negative 2x and a positive 2x, a positive 3 and a negative 3. So I have 2xh plus h squared minus 2h all over h. It's very easy at this point. A lot of students want to, pick one of the h's up top and cross it off with the bottom. But this 2xh is being divided by h, right? This h squared is also being divided by h. And that negative 2h is being divided by h. So you can't just cross one of them up. What you can do is factor an h out of each of these terms. So if I take the h away from here, 2x. Take an h away from here, I have 1 left. Take it from here, negative 2. Now I can cross it off. And my final answer is 2x plus h minus 2.
So you